Okay, I'm about sick of this. The sign says no fishing. Hey, the sign says no fishing, honey. Hey, you can't do that. The sign says no fishing.
Pocket full of monos and a heart that won't behave.
Some people don't even listen at all.
Like a lantern, but I'm
Rule breaker.
Being brave.
Welcome back to String of Pearls. This week, we get some fairing compound put on the boat, we get some primer put on the boat, and then we get some news that will change the entire outlook of the project. We've got to haul the boat out again. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoy this week's episode of String of Pearls.
I don't need saving, I just need somewhere soft to fall.
Good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning down here, and it is, boy, is it a lovely day. It is bright, sunshine, got the birds out. It's a good day. So we had a great trip over the weekend. Super to be back out on the water. And today we're getting started on getting the rest of this done. So we got James out here. He's starting to tape everything off. And then we're about to get the epoxy table set up, and we're gonna fair all this out. Let me try to explain a little bit of it to you. Hang on. Switch you around. And maybe you can see it in this light, but there is still like indentions and all kind of imperfections that our fairing compound is going to take care of. And like there's some ridges right there, some cracks right there. Fairing compound is going to fill all that in, and then we're gonna make this deck hull joint look a little prettier. And so the way that this works is we put the fairing compound in there and then sand it all smooth, and then we come back with another round of primer, and then after that primer we'll sand it again, and it should be ready to top coat. We'll do any more fairing on top of that, then sand it, and then top coat it after that. So that's what we're getting started doing. All right, I'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, guys, it's about noon time. We're making some progress. We got, look, Kim's down here. Angela's back. James and Clint are both here. We've applied this West Systems fairing compound, and it's working pretty good, man. It's a little bit of a pain to use, but what we're trying to do is fill in low spots, and then we'll come back and sand it. And then when we sand it, it ought to be pretty smooth. We had a little bit of sag issue here, but for the most part up here, it did pretty good. So I'm fairly pleased with that. And then these guys are doing great. They're a lot more patient than I am, and they're pretty good at applying this fairing compound. So I'm just so grateful they're doing that. I was doing it for a little while. It really hurts my hand. And but they're doing a fine job. It's tricky and hard to see. And so anyway, that's where we are. Well, guys, that's going to wrap us up for today. We've got a round of fairing on. We've got sea fog rolling in behind us. Temperature's dropped. It's kind of weird. It's like somebody opens a refrigerator door when this stuff starts coming in. Pretty wild. Like it's already gotten chilly and the wind has really picked up. But here, I'll show you how this stuff looks. Hang on. So we've got most of the low spots filled in, and then we'll bring the sanders back around tomorrow. We'll let this stuff cure overnight. Hopefully it'll cure overnight, and then we'll be back in the morning with sanders. Get it all sanded off. And then depending on what the weather does tomorrow, how we're looking, we might even get another round of maybe even get another round of paint on it. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up. All right, it's about 1:30 on Tuesday. All these clouds were supposed to be gone, and it's supposed to be like 70 degrees and nice. And it's not. It's cloudy and kind of foggy and like 58 degrees and the wind's blowing. It's less than ideal conditions. I've got dust all over me. We've been sanding like crazy. Angela's down here helping again. Paul's here, and Clint is here. And we're sanding off all the fairing compound. Hang on, I'll show you. All the fairing that we did yesterday, today we are sanding down smooth and making the hull fair, F-A-I-R. We've got a ripping tide. The tide's ripping out of here. We're coming up on the full moon, and the tide is really getting it out of here. A boat just got pinned trying to leave the dock a minute ago. We got the stern kicked way out. You can see how that current rips through here. Angela did all this back here. It looks great. Paul's getting right there. But I've been down here doing this for a few hours. And so we're making the hull fair. That's what we're doing. And then we're not going to be able to paint today, but we'll paint tomorrow, Wednesday. And then maybe get top coat on it Thursday or Friday. I don't know. I feel bad about predicting what I'm going to do to you guys, because everything I say I'm going to do, I don't ever do. That's where it has not yet been faired. Or not been sanded. It's been faired, not sanded. Well, hey there, everybody. It is, Tuesday afternoon. What an awful day. This has been super gloomy, cold, low 60s, and the wind blowing about 12 to 15 miles an hour out of the northeast. Just awful conditions. So we sanded all day on the boat. Just what we did. And we just sanded and sanded and sanded and sanded, and basically got done. The tide was ripping out, so we couldn't really maneuver the boat. Tide ripping out and the wind blowing. Really couldn't maneuver the boat like we wanted to, but we did the best we could. And tomorrow, I think we'll have a little bit of sanding left to do. I think we'll have to clean it, and then we're going to try to get it some top coat on it tomorrow. Excuse me. Sorry about that. No, that's wrong. We will try to get another coat of primer on tomorrow, and then a little bit of light sanding, and then top coat it maybe on Thursday. That's kind of how we're looking. But man, today was hard. Today was a hard day, without a doubt. Probably one of the hardest days that we've had so far. It's just, running a sander for 6 hours, that'll work on you pretty good. So that's it for this day. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. All right, talk to you next time. Bye. Well, morning, everybody. It is Wednesday morning, I think. I've just left J.C. Strother and headed down to the boat, trying not to run over all these people out here. Good grief. There's a lot of people out here up to stuff. Anyway, it is a lovely looking day today, I think. We've been dealing with this low fog, and so for this all grip paint, I have to have a 5-degree differential between, it's got to be over 50 degrees, which it is. It's 66 right now. But I've got to have a 5-degree differential between the temperature and the dew point, which we've been under a dense fog advisory, so we have not had that. We've had 100% humidity, and hopefully when we get down there today, that'll be gone. We have to finish a little bit of sanding that we didn't get done yesterday, and we should finish that today, and then we'll get another round of this primer on,
We'll touch it with a little bit more fairing compound, and then top coat. And then the port side of the boat will be done. We'll do the trip Monday for this nice fancy group that we're doing, and then when we get back from that, we'll put the boat around the other way, and then we'll do all of the starboard side. The starboard side should go more quickly, I think. I think it's going to go more quickly because we've already done some of the fairing on it, and so I think we're pretty far along. We'll just primer paint over there, and so hopefully we can wrap up the paint project next week. Then we got to get on to varnish and other stuff, painting the deck, painting the house. So we've still got a lot more painting left. The thing about painting the deck and painting the house is there's not all that much. There's a lot of sanding, but there's not a lot of fairing. There's some fairing, I guess, but not a lot of fairing. This is just the deck. We don't really care about that. Anyway, I'm really getting ready to wrap up the construction phase or the project phase and just get into cruising. I think I mentioned that once before, but the weather seems to be going to warm up nice, and maybe it'll be beautiful springtime around here. Anyway, headed down to the boat. Be there in a second. Give you an update then. Well, hey everybody, Captain Matt here. Well, it has been a very long process, but we do feel like we are gaining on it. We've got James down here. He started to sand off the stuff that we could not get to yesterday, and we should get some primer on it. There's still a little bit of fog around, but we think that it's going to burn off here. So it's nice and sunny over there. Over there is sea fog, over there is sea fog, and over there is sea fog. But here's how we're looking on here. You can see in the daytime with a little bit more sunlight, we've got more fairing to do in that general area. But all in all, I'm pretty pleased with how it did. We really need to sand all that paint right there. James is going to have to wipe all this down with acetone too, or whoever comes down to help. We'll have to wipe it down with acetone. It's still, relative humidity is pretty high. I checked on the app. It says the temperature is like 62 degrees and the dew point is like 58 or something like that. So that's too close for us. But here's James. He's going. We'll see how this DJI mic does. There's James getting that nice and done. Let's go listen and see how that sounds. I bought this at JC Strother, not a sponsor, and we'll use that to stir up the paint. We've had a crisis because we couldn't find drop cloths, but look, here they are. There they are right there. Someone put them away nice and neatly up here. Let's see if they're sitting on this side. Boy, it's dusty up here. But look how good those windows look. I've got to get some weather seal in there. This whole front of this boat has to be washed. Goodness. All right, not in there. They look great, don't they? Yeah, and all we gotta do is get the weather seal in.
Clean up around the edges on the white.
On the white, which is why I want to use weather stripping and not silicone, because if we use silicone, once that,
right,
like when we clean, we ought to take a wire brush to that, I think, and wire wheel or something like that, and get all that paint off there. Do we leave it unpainted? It'll be bronze like that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's a bit of pain in the ass job. Fiddly.
So you think paint it?
But we've definitely got to take caulk
Oh yeah,
and go around here. That's where water's leaking in.
yeah.
But then weather stripping will keep it out from between here and here. So that's the plan there.
Did you get your piece back so you could put them back?
Not yet. I'm going to call him today about that.
Oh, okay.
All right, let me, here's these drop claws. Hang on. Boy, it's dusty and dirty up here. All right, this is our pendant, and we fly this in the fall. We'll probably retire that one. It's got some fade on it, but it's time now for a little different action.
Oh, that post is ready. You know the little post I took?
Yeah, where? Yeah, what post?
It goes in now.
For the bell.
Yeah,
Great. Just now needs to be varnished.
yeah. It's, I've got a young lad to do it.
Oh, he varnished it.
No, he just painted it.
Oh, great. Okay.
So it's up to you whether you varnish it or not. But it come out nice.
Well, if it looks great, then we'll just put it on.
Yeah.
Great. How much do I owe him?
He says you don't want anything for it.
Really?
But he's really into those, you know, those little models, and you paint them,
Wow.
soldiers and that. So he's got a real steady hand for doing all that shit.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay, great.
so
Yeah, we'll look forward to having the ship's bell back on.
yeah,
So-
it's untidy at the moment, but next time I go down there,
Okay, great.
I'll grab it off.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah. Because I know you asked me before.
Well, is it, at some point, I mean, we got the bell right down there. We'll get it back on. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy called me today about the mast. The mast is already almost all ready to go. He's got it shaped, and he spent some time on it. Here are some pictures of that mast being built. So grateful for Matt doing this. I'm excited to get it back, and we'll put it in the boat. And this is him clamping it up and laminating it in his shop. And here's some video of it. This is going down the mast.
Pretty close to the finished shape here.
And his all looks really great. We should get it real soon. We like these little clips that we use here. Oh, they're a little bit fiddly. My fingers aren't strong enough to really do this right. And I have to hold my mouth in a certain way. We get these pendants from Beaver Flag Company. You can find their information online, or I'll try to post a link in the description. But Beaver Flag's not a sponsor. They do a great job for us, though, and we try to give them all of our pendant business. This is our custom string of pearls pendant, and we really like the work that they do. Can't remember if this is the one that I need to lock down so far. These guys are having a discussion about fairing up front, and I've got to throw in my 2 cents right here. Yeah, but you get the purpose, right? Is you can't get to the valleys
You're filling in the holes
and taking off the tops.
filling the holes level about the hill.
When you go like down to a real shipyard and watch them do one of those big boats like that, I do it like 10 times.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. And then you could probably, whenever they're all said and done, you could probably see yourself.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. All right, there it is. That's done. I'll have to edit that a bunch, but there's our pendant. Looks pretty good. It lives up here at the front of the boat. I almost slipped in that a second ago and fell. That'd have been a hell of a note. We fixed this last year. This was giving us a hard time. I need to get some thickened epoxy and come fix it again, it looks like. Next time I have some 610 out, I'll come do that. It's getting a little bit wobbly, but I don't think it's coming out. I don't like being up here at the front of the boat. It always makes me think I'm going to fall off. We're going to get all this varnish, get all that stuff back on. That's our windlass. It works great. This is a nice view up here. People love to sit up here. What Paul was just telling me about was we've got a ship's bell that lives right here, and we've got it back. So that's good. So we'll get it back on and installed. Fog is still back there, still over there. I'm going to have to check the relative humidity in a minute. Like, you go down inside and the walls are just wet with moisture. Close up of those windows again. This is what Paul was talking about. We had to clean off all the edges. We'll probably pull these windows back out when we get to painting up here. And we do need to sand and paint up there. We need to sand and paint there, and a lot of fairing up there. I did all that repair. You can go back and watch the video that I did on that. I did all of that work, and it looks awful, but I'll tell you, it's a pretty good repair. All right, stand by. Learning about all this stuff is pretty tough, guys. All the different cameras and the different accessories that you have. I mean, there's a lot going on to all this stuff. But hopefully I'm going to be able to get it all figured out. I want the audio to sound a lot better on my recordings. And going back and watching some of the older videos, I'm not really happy with the audio. But hopefully using this setup, a DJI Mic 2 into the GoPro 13 will help it sound better. I've got a wireless mic here. And I think that there's even a little thing that I can put on there for wind noise, which would be handy a lot of times. Let's double check. Oh yeah, it's right here, look. Yeah, look, I can put this on. And that should help from like a wind noise perspective. So that's good. So I need to remember to put that on every morning. Boy, there's a lot to remember about all this stuff. But now I can set the camera over here and give you guys an interview like this and let you know what's going on, and we can talk and record video. It takes a minute longer for this microphone to pick up, so I just can't click and click like I used to, but it works pretty good. I like this microphone. All right, we are rolling the dice, folks, and let me tell you what I mean when I say that. The temperature right now is somewhere around 65 degrees, and according to the app I use, the best guess that I have on what the dew point is like 57. And we have to have a 5-degree differential between dew point and temperature in order for this paint to do right. So fingers crossed that we don't let, like, there's still fog in the area. Like, there's sea fog out there, and that, of course, that is when the air temperature matches the humidity, or you have 100% humidity essentially. So that's what we're dealing with. So what we're trying to do now is just make sure that, well, we're not making sure, we're just going for it because we need to get this paint on today. So we've decided that we're going to go ahead and just paint and see what happens. And so now I'm going to go in the dock house and I'm going to get some Vienna sausages. I'm hungry. All right, we've got paint going on. There's Paul. He's got it all mixed up. We're trying to get everybody organized and all that so that we don't overlap. Angela's going to be cutting in and Clint's going to be rolling, and then James is putting on some masking tape to mask up that area, and then he'll be rolling down there. And I may do a little, I don't know, I'm going to try not to. I'm terrible at painting. The wind is coming up, but it feels like nice and warm, so I'm encouraged about that. Wind also keeps the bugs away. Hey, it's that guy. Hey there. It was nice of them to wave at us. This ought to look real good when we get all this stuff done. They've been working on the pumps all day today. Over there getting them all fixed up so y'all can come and get your gasoline from Morningstar. Well, I guess it's Morningstar Golden Isles Marina, they call it. It's a great place. String of Pearls has been here a long time. There's Angela starting to cut in. All Grip 545 primer. Not a sponsor. I wish All Grip was a sponsor. Goodness. All right, feels good to see paint going back on. We have gloves up there if you want them.
I'm okay. Oh, yeah, you know what? I probably should do
All
that.
right, I'll bring you some.
Thank you.
Oh, there's the mediums.
Extra large.
They've got a box of mediums in there.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Paul, how long have you been working on boats?
I went to a nautical school when I was 13.
When you were 13, and so you're 23 now, so 10 years.
19. Something like that.
Started at 13 in New York.
That's right. Somebody asked him the other day, we were talking, they said, where are you from? He said, New York. And with a deadpan straight face. That was pretty funny. And we got a kick out of that. Okay, so we got paint going on the boat, and I will check back in a little while. All right, James is back. Starting to get paint on the front. Looks pretty good, James. We've got Clint going. Clint looks pretty good. Paul's going. Paint's going on pretty quick. I have 4 people painting. That's enough to keep me out of the mix, which is great for me. Because I don't like painting. Just had another repeat cruiser book for us, which is great. There's Angela. She's down there working hard. And this is how, when the boat's kicked out, how we have to get on the boat. Look, we have to reach way over and step on like that. It's actually pretty warm on the quarterdeck today. I just remembered that I was supposed to send somebody something and I haven't done it yet. So I need to go ahead and do that. All right, I'll be back in a minute. What, y'all heard a raindrop?
I feel it. Yeah. I feel it.
Yeah, Paul, what do you think? Just let it pass?
Yeah, just keep going.
Keep going. Keep going.
Guys, this saga of the weather continues. Here's our update, and I was just up there sitting and looking at the weather, and on the weather radar, like, showed some little bitty showers coming in, but it is so amazing. You saw what the boat looked like just a few minutes ago. But here's what it looks like now. There's still a few dark spots, but we'll get those done. And we're rushing to get some paint on here because we're feeling out of that cloud right there a little drizzle, which is not great for the boat. So we're trying to rush real fast to get it on. But man, does it look good with paint going on it. They've got to get this little area back here, but Clint is headed back this way. Man, we've just got our fingers crossed that this rain doesn't mess us up. It's right up there. That's the cloud that we're worried about. And I can feel little sprinkles. Maybe there's even one or two hitting the lens here. We'll just get as much done as we can. You know, you want a damn job, you know, doing something that's hard to do is, number one, paint the string of pearls. That's a hard job. And number two, predict the weather on St. Simon's Island. That's a hard job. Because it can't be done. 0% chance of rain today. And we're getting sprinkled on. Really grateful for these guys out here doing all this work, though. They're getting it done. But it looks really good. All right, I'll check back in before we go. All right, they've told me that yeah, it looks great. We almost got that notch down there all filled in. Well, it looks great. Paul, we almost got these canyons filled in. Well, we didn't do very good over here, though, did we? Dadgummit. That's just hard to get to and do. You can really see it with the paint on it. That'd look even worse with top coat, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed this, but you missed a spot right here.
Just a little one. That's
Just a little one.
James going mad again.
But this looks really great up here, Paul.
Yeah, good job.
This came out really nice up here.
Yeah, you done a good job.
What do you think we ought to do about, you can still see that whole kind of rough area along there. What do you think we should do about it?
At the bottom,
Yeah,
it should come out a lot better on another fair.
okay.
That doesn't mean to say we've got to clear the whole boat.
No, but maybe we could fair this area.
Yeah. It's just a hard area to get any pressure.
It is such a hard area to get pressure on. But we'll use that light fairing, right? We'll use the light compound.
Yeah, and it'll take a lot of it out.
Are you going to be able to reuse these at this point? The buckets?
I don't know, ask Paul. What?
Blue.
The blue paint? What about the blue paint?
Do we have any?
No, we'll do that later. We're going to paint the blue from the other side of the boat. We'll do that on the stage. We'll tape it and do it from that's called a boot stripe, and we'll do it from the other side of the boat. No way to do it from here. You know, Paul, maybe, I don't know, because I want to top coat it. I understand it might be easier to get to that, to fair it from the other side, you know, standing on the stage than it is here.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard here.
Super hard here.
Get in. Maybe we can give it a go tomorrow. See what you think then. It's just tiny bits now.
It's just tiny bit. So there's one bit back here, look, here. There. Right, that canyon there. Other than that, I don't see anything back here. I mean, you could pick nits.
Yeah.
and say here, but I don't really care about that. These two we know we need a little doubt in there. Oh, I smudged the paint.
Get Angie to run all through the boat. Put a little bit of tape where it needs it.
Oh, that's still wet back
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I could do that, couldn't I? I could just walk with her
Yeah.
and say here, 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 and she could put a little piece of tape.
Yeah.
But 95% of that looks great. Just that's the one that drives me crazy, and it won't even drive me crazy really. And then that section there, because you can see it.
Yeah. There was just too much put on it at once.
It was too much. That's my fault.
Should have done it in layers.
Yeah, that's my fault. And we should have used the other filler,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it would have sanded off better.
I think it looks good for
Looks great.
an undercoat. It's not bad, man.
Oh, they pulled that off. I see.
Yeah. We're gonna
Well,
do that tomorrow.
yeah, let's put some primer on there tomorrow because those people are coming on Sunday.
It was wet at the bottom. That's why I didn't do it today.
Very good.
So we'll do that tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Should be able to get 2 or 3 coats on it,
Okay, great.
and then you won't really notice it.
Right. Yeah, yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, well, but that's going to wrap it for today, right? That's all we're doing today. Okay.
Yep.
Well, what's today?
Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday. So,
Yeah.
okay. So today's Wednesday, guys, and that's going to wrap it from today. We'll tomorrow come down and do a little light fairing and just finish off these little areas and then sand it.
Yeah.
Top coat maybe Friday.
Yeah.
Will we prime back over the fairing?
Just the ferry.
So we'll prime back over the fairing,
Yeah.
let it dry, sand, maybe top coat Friday, maybe.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what the weather's like.
Maybe top coat Friday, depending on the weather. It doesn't take that long to paint the side. The side takes 2 or 3 hours to paint, right?
About 3 hours.
So, well, it may be longer to top coat it because we got to tip it.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see how long it takes.
Goes on.
It does go on
You don't
quicker.
have to keep double rolling it. Or rolling it 3 times. And it's a good cover as well. It get rid of all these dark patches.
Yeah.
And stuff like that just looks like a shadow.
Yeah.
But we've probably put about 3 coats on that today.
Well, that's great.
But I keep going over it all the time.
Well, it looks great. Looks a lot better than it did. Look like polka dotted pig this morning. Okay, well, guys, that's going to wrap it up from down here. We'll clean all this stuff up, put everything away, and then we'll be back here bright and early in the morning. Thanks so much, guys. It's Thursday, everybody. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. Oh my goodness gracious. All right. Well, first off, it's a beautiful day here. It looks like maybe that sea fog has moved out. I don't know. It was a heavy dew fall overnight. My truck is wet. But you not believe this. We have found out and discovered that it is against environmental regulations to paint over water, or to paint the side of the boat over water. You can paint the deck and the house over water, but I mean, what they're worried about is you spilling paint into the water, like dumping a whole bucket of paint in the water. So we can paint the deck, and we can paint the house at the marina, but we cannot paint the sides. So what I guess what I've been doing has not been right. But we want to do right. We want to follow the rules and be good and do it the right way. So we're gonna have to haul the boat out again next week to finish painting the sides. I talked to, but I don't think we're going to have to go back to Valona. I think we're going to be able to do it here in Brunswick. There is a Brunswick Railway that's owned by the City Market, or the City Market people, not a sponsor. And we talked to them. I talked to the guy there yesterday, Frank Owens, who I guess is the owner of it, but he's a really well-known guy, super guy, owns City Market. But Frank said he thinks that he can pull me out of the water Tuesday. I got to call him Friday. And I talked to Paul last night. Paul and I talked to, it was late last night when I found all this stuff out. We talked last night on the phone. And Paul said, yeah, if we get that boat over there on Tuesday, then we can hop right on it with our crew. We've got a good crew, and we can hop on it Wednesday, Thursday, and then be back, you know, hopefully be back done by Friday, both sides. And so that is what we're going to try to do. We have a big trip on Monday that we got to do. And then, but then I think that we can do this on, I think we can do it. Oh my God, you know. Oh, it's never, and this is the gift that keeps on giving. Oh well. All right, I'm headed to Matt's shop right now. We're going to pick up the, if I don't run over the CrossFit people, I'm going to pick up the mast. I don't want to run over the nice CrossFit people. All right, I'll check back in a second.
Heavier.
Yeah, that's okay. The way to be all right. Guys, here I am at Matt's shop. Look at this. Check this out. Boy, isn't that beautiful? Goodness. Wow. Look, you've shaped it. It's all tapered. That's man, that's amazing. Look, you even took the old bushings out, I guess, right?
Well, that's so the shaft where it attaches in the boat, everything fits the same.
Right.
They're right in line. I use the old one as a template.
God, this is great.
There's some imperfections. I know where they are.
I don't. And we will prime this and paint. So we're going to paint it with all grip. It'll look wow, that wood is beautiful.
It is. It's pretty cool. It was fun to work with.
Awesome. Okay, we'll get this all loaded up and down to the boat, and we'll get it installed. Do you think it'll ride in this truck? What a nice guy. Okay, guys, we've got it all strapped down. Here it is. It's all strapped down, ready to go. And we're going to run down to the marina, and we're going to get it. We talked about how to, I may put an epoxy coat on it. I don't know. We'll get down there and talk to Paul about it. I'll get James to help me take it down there. So we'll be down at the marina in a minute. I've made it down here to the marina. They've got this parking lot so jacked up that I got to part way out here and walk. I need to walk, but man, when you're in a hurry, it always seems like it's something. We tried to give the marina some advice on stuff, and unfortunately they didn't listen, but anyway. I've got it all strapped down to a cart. I'm going to walk it down there, and we'll get it on in just a little bit. Check back in a little while. This mast is really pretty. He did a great job on this. He put those bushings back in, which is good. You know, get down here and have a look at it. He did a really nice job of putting several pieces of wood together to make an awkward, weird angle, stuff like this. And so I'm really, really happy with this result. And I'm just sanding it down, making it kind of a final sanding on it. And then in just a few minutes, we will figure out either to epoxy seal it or, I don't know. I don't know yet exactly how we're going to do it yet. But it all ought to be right because he made it off of the old one. So pretty cool. good afternoon up in the West Marine and back. Dealing with aggro people that don't park right. Okay, so we've made all kind of decisions. We're going to do a little work since we've got 2 or 3 days. We're going to do some work on this front deck. We're measuring right here. We're about to cut out a whole section up here on this front. This must be good wood on this side of it.
Yeah.
But this is the bad part here, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Roughly all round where the honeycomb is.
Got it, where the honeycomb is. So we are we're making a cut, and we're going to get rid of all this stuff, and we're going to fix this. It's something needs doing, because I think we're getting a little water in down below. We also have discovered, Clint, where is it? We have discovered an area of delamination over here. Right there, you can see that it's flexing a little bit, feels a little bit soft, yeah. Right there, so we're gonna cut that out as well. And Angela is up here doing something, sanding on that. That looks nice. So how are we gonna cut this out, Paul? We're gonna do this with a saw, with a chisel, with a what?
We're going to make a small square in the centre of it,
Make a small square in the center of it?
and then we'll cut out until it's going into wood.
Okay. Clint's gonna poke a hole in it now if he doesn't break his knife. I think that's probably thicker than you think it is. Yeah, I should have brought you that damn big long T-square that's in the back of my... Do you want someone to go get it? It's in the back of the car, the big long T-square. Do you want it?
Oh, we're going to need it, yeah.
Okay, Angela,
Yes, sir.
can I retask you, please, to run up to the pickup truck that's in the parking lot? Well, it hurts me too bad to walk up there. In the back of that pickup truck, there's a blue, what's called a T-square. It's a long piece of metal with a T on the end of it, and we need that.
All right, it's in the back of your truck,
Back of my pickup truck.
and you are parked where?
Over there in that parking lot on the left
Somewhere
side.
left
Yeah,
side.
Yeah, put 60 in there.
thank you.
You know,
Well, I need a cart.
No, it is light, and it's just as fast as you can go. You'll be back before you can finish your cigarette.
Lovely day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice day.
not seeing any moisture coming out.
Yeah, I don't think there's any. It's just delaminated. I'm pretty sure there may be, like, you can hear it whenever you run your whenever you run the water on it, it drums on it differently.
Right.
You can hear it.
But that's not the piece that's leaking, is it?
No, that's leaking, and it's leaking around here.
All right.
But I don't know if here's leaking coming through the door or if it's leaking up here. But what I figured is we'd seal this all real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very thick.
So I don't know. Do we want to sand it off?
I mean, you can say, I'll just.
No. We're going to do what he says. We're going to cut a square in it and then cut diagonals out.
That's usually the easiest way, and then wait until you hit the good wood, or you can see the good wood.
Yeah.
And we'll square it off.
All right, so you just want me to bend around the corner like that? Okay. I'm not getting anything out of this.
my chest. Tried to shake it loose, did my Sunday best. Clock keeps turning, but the money don't stay. I'm running hard circles and I'm losing ground that way. My boots on the floor, my hands on the wheel, but every road I take feel like a deal I can't seal. I keep saying tomorrow like it's right around, but tonight's got me stuck, got me down. Take me down, take me down to where a man can breathe when the cold comes around. Drinking can't drive the cold away. It just steals my night and it borrows my day. Take me down, take me down. Lord, this winter's got me down. I got a good woman, steady as a prayer. She don't ask for much, still I wish I could spare. I wanna buy her something that says I see you, I do. But love ain't a receipt, love's just me and you. And I got great kids, they're the light in this house. When I'm worn to a thread, they pull me back out. But I hate how my tempo rides close to the ground when the bills stack high. And I'm down, take me down, take me down to where a man can breathe when the cold comes around. Drinking can't drive the cold away. It just steals my night and it borrows my day. Take me down, take me down. Lord, this winter got me down. Talking back now, every band in reach feels like paying a vow. I've been holding it together with a grin and a joke, but sometimes I feel like a match with no smoke. I keep pushing on, keep my head in the fight, but the dark comes early and it stays all night. If I could just see pain start coming back around, I might shake these blues, shake this down. I ain't asking for gold, I ain't asking for fame, just a little sun breaking through the same old grave. Let the ice let go, let the river run free, let spring find my door, find me. Take me down to where a man can breathe when the cold comes around. Drinking can't drive the cold away, but maybe I can lay it down one of these days. Take me down, take me down. Maybe spring will come, maybe spring will come, pull me up off the ground.
We have changed. Okay, here's what we're up to now. We're having to make decisions and change in real time. I have to get something to drink here. Hang on. This is what the old teak deck looked like. Look how beautiful. I wish to all my power that I could expose these teak decks. That would be the one thing that I would do, but I think if they're in bad shape, then I don't think there's any way to do it. I think that the former owner would have left them if he could have. because he was very much a traditionalist. So this looks different here. I think now that you know what you're dealing with, Clint, you ought to take that circular saw and cut. Have you already cut all the lines all the way through? You have?
Yeah, yeah. There's like a moisture membrane put underneath of this.
It came off back there. It's not coming off up here. Weird. I don't know what that's there. It comes up. Weird. All right, y'all just have to grind all that off. Okay. So, folks, even though you're seeing the teak tech that's underneath here, say goodbye to it, because you're not going to see it for long, because they're about to cover it up. So Clint is running the chisel and kind of chiseling that stuff out. I bet all these decks look like that. Hey, Paul, do you think eventually all this stuff has got to come off?
Eventually, maybe another 3, 5 years. It's all going to do that.
It's all going to do that.
Yeah.
And the best thing to do is just listen for it, I guess, to delaminate, right? None of the rest of it feels soft. It's not like we're hitting soft spots.
No, it's where it's come away from the glue. I don't know what glue they use, but it's just sitting under the glue, and you see once it's sanded.
Is this already dry? Look, so it's the moisture. It's not deep.
No, not at all. And it's not lifting up on any of the edges.
All right, very good. Yep, so we're trying to get ready for the season, and once again, James poking freaking holes in the boat. My goodness.
That'll be 3 this week.
I mean, where did this guy come from, Paul? All he does is poke holes in boats.
And loses the marker pen.
And loses the marker pens. So over here, we're wetting out a slip. I say we, I mean they, are wetting out a strip of fiberglass tape that's going to go up and go around that corner just to reinforce it and make sure that it keeps water out of there moving forward. We think it will, but that's what we're up to at the second, getting this piece all wetted out. And then they'll put it up there around that repair. Well, guys, my new microphone system let me down right here, but basically all I'm doing is just showing the end of the repair, how we got that epoxy in there on top of that repair, and it looks good. We're going to wrap up the video here for this week, and the next day we get started right away on really getting that repair done, but we're going to pick that up next week. We really appreciate all the support. We are over 3,000 viewers, which is amazing to me, or subscribers, I should say. And that's really great. We're letting the videos get watched organically instead of promoting them. So they get a lot less views, but better quality views or whatever. But we sure would appreciate it if you'd share this with anybody that might be interested, or if there's anything you'd like to see, leave a comment and give us a like. We like making these videos, and I hope that we'll be able to continue. But thanks again for watching. We appreciate all the support, and we'll catch you back here next week on the String of Pearls.
$15,000, that's a hell of a stack of green. Could buy a used car for a young boy's first wild dream. Could put tires on a highway and point west into the sun. Find a beach with painted cocktails and stay till summer's done. Could make a down payment on a little 2-bedroom place. Put a porch out in the country with some roses round the gate. Could buy a boat with a trailer or a ring or time to breathe. Lord, there's a lot of living in 15,000 if you leave.